Well,
Hi everybody, welcome to Smark Avengers.
Yo.
My name is Corey. With me is Dylan and John. Hey guys, how's it going?
I
It's a bit of a rainy day here, so the mood's a little bit vibe. It's a little mellow. So this is the week after Halloween, and much like some situations in life, you're a day late, a dollar short. Our last episode, we were just kind of treating it as like, hey, talk about whatever, and we talked about like the comic book synergy with the movies and the video games and the upcoming event in the Venom world where it seems like Hela is getting the symbiote powers or something like that. Um, we thought this week would be a great time to talk about things we're thankful for because Thanksgiving's coming up in America. And the thing I'm thankful for is monsters. So I think it would be a great time to just kind of talk about monsters that we like. Does that sound like a fair idea?
sure.
Yeah, why not?
So I know Dylan. If you want to jump right into it, when we first kind of brought this idea up, you asked me for like what's the definition of a monster essentially, and I said pretty much like giant beasts, interdimensional threats, aliens, that kind of thing.
Right, because I feel like your idea of a monster is like a kaiju, like a Godzilla.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
how I'm thinking it.
like a Wendigo.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a Predator X. That one seemed to flip you by.
yeah. I was trying to think. Do I remember Predator X? I'm having a hard time remembering that one.
John, do you remember Predator X?
Wasn't it like a monster that hunted mutants or something?
Correct.
I think Gail Simone
And
introduced
I
something similar to that in her current run, but they're Sentinel dogs. So they're like
yeah,
dogs,
I
but they're
think
sentinels.
you should Google a picture of Predator X just so that you know what it looks like and that
I swear to God, Dylan,
we're
if
on
a
the same.
picture of Donald Trump comes up,
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a kind of
he's
predator.
a king predator. Mm-hmm.
Predator X Marvel. Sheesh.
I agree. It's a pretty. But I
It's
assume this
it's
this falls under.
yeah, it fit. I mean, it looks like it's a dinosaur made out of adamantium.
Yes, that was the point. It was supposed to be this really unstoppable beast that kills and eats mutants.
Jeez,
Which, when you think
Louise.
about it, is a much more efficient way of doing things than Sentinels. 'Cause you think about how much metal it would take to make loads and loads of Sentinels, like they're giant, fucking, a million feet tall. So many,
Mm.
and then to make them like program them with like, artificial intelligence. Imagine making a laser that big. It's the cost is just ridiculous. Why not just make a big monster that eats them?
So this was
Done.
in
Problem solved.
so this was in New X-Men 2007 when he debuted. New X-Men was the Kid X-Men book of the 2000s. So it was like Pixie, X-23, Prodigy, Hellion, etc. Um, Christopher Yost and Craig Kyle makes sense. Paco Medina design makes sense. I'm looking at his abilities and it's a lot.
Hmm. He
Superhuman.
can manipulate the speed force.
Yeah, he seemingly can. Superhuman strength, speed, agility, reflexes, stamina, senses, and durability. That's like kind of grouped into one ability. Razor sharp claws and teeth, which is apparent. Toxic saliva. Christ.
Yeah.
Regenerative healing. Armored biometallic
Hmm.
skin. X gene detection. Genetic assimilation and adaptation. So it almost sounds like Predator X is a little like Doomsday in the sense that like he just constantly evolving to just deal with whatever gets thrown at him.
Yeah, I think they did kill him at some point, but the idea was that it was supposed to be this unstoppable mutant killing machine. Well,
Oh, there are multiple ones.
machine, and I
Yeah,
recall there
yeah.
had been one. I don't remember
As
there being
I
lots.
could have
the
sworn there
last
was more than
entry
one,
I
but
see is a sixth Predator X operates in New York City before being killed by Phantom X. So we have at least six of them.
Wow, how did Phantom X kill him?
Ah, he's just so
Because they
damn
had a
cool.
lot of trouble killing that fucking thing. I don't think he'd just kill him just for being cool. Like that's it's difficult. Yeah,
Cool
it's just me,
guy.
Phantom X, and the guy has an attack and dies. You know,
Cool guy, Phantom X.
he is. Well, he was cool. He used to be cool.
So this it looks like the first Predator X was killed by Wolverine.
That's the one I think I'm thinking of. I don't know if I remember there being multiple. I definitely remember one of them being killed by Wolverine. Because that was in ah Messiah Complex. Was that it?
Yeah, it
Or
looks like
was it the
Messiah
one before
Complex.
Messiah
Yeah.
Yeah, the entry I'm looking at
Complex?
mentions Messiah Complex.
Okay, that's what I remember him from. I remember some lovely artwork of his beautiful face as he destroyed mutants and chomped them. Give him a little chomp, you know. Oh,
Yeah, no, I would say that Predator X
that
classifies as a monster.
cool. So I remember him being pretty horrific, you know. You could stick a picture of him up on the screen for the YouTube folks, so that they don't have to go all the way to Google to look at a picture of Predator X's
I'll probably do
delightful
that. I'll
darty.
what I'll do is I'll remove the video portion while we're talking about it and throw it up there. And then we'll
Yeah,
return to the video
maybe
portion
like
now.
have all of the monsters that we talk about just like pop up on the screen, like really small, and just like dance around the screen while we're talking.
I'll
So
make
like
them
they
like
kind of
dancing gifs, like the dancing baby.
like they're like a
Mhm.
screensaver, like they just
Yeah.
bounce around the screen, and they, as we keep talking about them, more and more monsters turn on the screen until it's really hard to see us at all, and it's just like loads of monsters bouncing around. You know, that's easy to do. I think that's probably easy to edit,
Yep.
right? Yeah, John, what do you want them to do?
What about if they played football together?
Yeah, can we get all the monsters and split them into two teams? And you have to make sure to designate one of the monsters on each team as the goalie.
Okay.
So that we know we're talking proper football. We're not talking American football.
Well, I mean, there has
Of
been a
course,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
games in your country, or at least John's country, in the last few weeks, so it could very well have been both. Like
Yeah, but we call it American football. So.
the Los Angeles Rams and Tony Khan's Jacksonville Jaguars were just there playing earlier this morning.
Who won?
Not the Jaguars. When I looked at the score last, it was 21-0. So they weren't going their way. It wasn't going their way. That's American football.
You know what
talk.
they need?
What do they need?
They need a fish. So Predator X is over on this side.
All
There
right,
he is.
we're going shirts
He's
and
still-
skins. So one team will
He's
be
gonna
wearing
be.
shirts.
I assume. Yeah. Well, I would assume Predator X's skins because I don't think a shirt would fit that boy.
I think the shirt would be shredded off the second you tried to put it on.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Or he sweats acid
gonna-
because he generates acid. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the spit, I don't think.
I'm sure there are a lot of football players that generate acid, and they get along just fine. You can quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's a fact.
There you
I don't
go.
watch football, John. Tell me if that's true or not. But I believe that to be
Yeah.
the case. There you go.
I am pretty sure you're accurate with that. Yeah.
Two people have said it, therefore must be true.
Must
Put
be
it on
true.
the tree counter. Put a tree counter in the corner as well. I don't want to clutter the screen up too much, but I have a tree.
It's getting a little busy, but I think we can make it work.
The lie corner, like down in this corner.
Yeah, there you go.
And then lies, and then the other two we'll keep them free for now because I'm sure I'll come up with something later to put in the corners.
All right, well,
I like how this is shaping up really well.
all right, well, that was Predator X. So, John, do you have a giant monster that you feel needs to get their credit?
Preferably one with the wearing a shirt so we can put them on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Fang Foom, who's like an alien dragon, basically, who ended up in China, like back in the 8th century, and then yeah, basically he's been around for all that time, and he just likes to mash it up. And he wears like
There's little purple shorts.
some massive pants. Yeah, so
We'll
that's
put him in
Fang
this
Foom.
side. We'll put him over here.
So
Would you want him in goal? I would put him in goal, right?
I reckon he'd be a pretty good goalie. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
big
because
enough.
he's really big. Like, we have to get the ball
Yeah.
past him. Or would he be better like as like a striker? Because he could like zip down the field like pretty. He'd cover a
I'm
lot of
thinking
ground.
He's got some pretty big hands, so
Yeah.
like that would make him a really good goalkeeper.
Okay. I take it. Okay, so put him here.
I'm looking at information about Fang Foom, because
Yeah.
you feel like he doesn't get used enough, but surprisingly, he's been used quite a bit. I remember when we were watching that.
Really?
Well, Dylan, you may not necessarily remember, but we were watching the Iron Man cartoon, and Fang Foom showed up and like beat the shit out of Iron Man, and they didn't come back, which was bizarre and interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
He
Wow,
also
what else
appeared
you would say?
in Iron Man Armored Adventures in a 2-part episode called Tales of Suspense. He appeared on the Superhero Super Squad show. He appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man, the episode The Avenging Spider-Man. He appeared in Avengers Assemble and Hulk and the Agents of Smash and Guardians of the Galaxy's television series and Marvel Disc Wars The Avengers, and also in the MODOK television show, where he runs a restaurant called Fing Fang Farm to Table.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that MODOK show, not many
I don't
people talked about it.
Did you watch it?
I know that it was on Hulu. That's about all I know about it. And that Patton Oswalt was in it, and that was enough of a deterrent for me.
You don't like Patton Oswalt?
Don't care for him. I feel like he sees himself as like the gatekeeper for nerdy things, and that just makes him insufferable to me for some reason.
You could say he's a bit of a monster. Put him up here.
On the counter.
He's got a shirt. Put him over there.
Is he midfield, working like right wing? What position is he on the field?
I would put him as a defender. I don't imagine him running around too much.
Doesn't look like he does
I'd
that
say
much.
defender as well.
Yeah.
I saw
He wears a shirt, so
Okay. I saw a highlight reel of Vinnie Jones's playing days recently, and that man was a menace. It was kind of impressive.
Oh
What?
yeah.
was a menace.
Still is. It was just nothing but a highlight reel of him just like drop kicking people in the shins. It was impressive. I'm like, man, dear God. People didn't need to fake an injury with him around.
It's a different era.
It certainly
It was
was.
a different time.
It
Yeah.
certainly was. Christ. He played the Juggernaut, put him on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, right
Wait,
there.
is the Juggernaut a monster?
I mean,
Juggernaut Khan is a monster.
I mean, the being that gives the Juggernaut his abilities is an interdimensional demonic entity, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
could we put him on the screen?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's just this from this point in the episode on, it's just gonna be like just a picture of Vinnie Jones the rest of the episode.
As the Juggernaut.
No, just him. So
He'll be on the screen at some point.
So we're gonna talk about some more monsters. I think the one that I want to bring up because you mixed up you brought up Fang Foom, who's like a Chinese dragon by appearance, but is actually an alien. I want to bring up Egg Foo, which is a very problematic DC Comics villain that they have tried to
Why
make
would it be
not
problematic?
You'll see. You'll see why he was problematic.
Yep.
Yeah, John found out.
DC.
Yep, Egg Foo DC.
wait. I think we talked about this guy before, didn't we?
We might have brought up
Yeah,
Egg
we
Foo in the
definitely-
past. He's a giant sentient
You know,
egg.
like, you can see that some of these pictures are very, like, not cool, and then they've obviously very clearly tried to redesign him,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
where they're like, oh, no, he's just a big creepy egg from no particular country at all.
Yep.
You know?
So
Very
he
interesting.
Egg Foo first showed up in Wonder Woman in 1965. He was the first villain to get a multi-issue arc, so they were like, this is the one that we're really going to dive into storytelling on. So yeah, early appearances, the character was a yellow peril ethnic stereotype, complete with caricatured Asian facial features and a strong Chinese accent. Later appearances of the character maintained his Asian ethnicity while de-emphasizing his historically racialized characterization and removing overt associations with Chinese culture and language. Yeah.
Yeah, the language is a bit much. Like you don't gotta do the accent in the comics. There's no need for that.
You really shouldn't.
Oh.
But it's you know, boy, he's creepy as fuck to look at now.
Yeah, he's scary. Like that's a scary egg. His eggs go. That's one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Can I tell you that if you played DC Lego supervillains, you could unlock Egg Foo, and it was a giant.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I enjoyed the Lego DC supervillains, but yes, I just like that they felt the need to include Egg Foo, and made him the giant creepy egg and not the racialized stereotype.
That'd be a bit much for kids.
Wonder Woman's got some weird fucking villains, because I think what most people associate her with are like either the Greek pantheon, because the Greek gods are all fuckers. Like that's long established in their own mythology. They're fuckers, and also like Cheetah, right? Everyone's like, yeah, Cheetah. You know, she's Cheetah. She's got some weird fucking villains though. Aside from that, like there's Dr. Psycho, who's like quite literally a short man with an inferiority complex who hates women. So he's like an incel. And fucking the Blue Snowman is probably one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Is that his name?
The Blue Snowman, yeah. And it's a woman in a robot suit, by the way. It's not even a man.
Blue Snowman is, I assume, going to come up when we do a Christmas theme episode.
I was actually going to say that. Remember when we did the Aquaman villain episode, where I was like, "Here's some weird ass Aquaman villains." I kind of want to do the same to Wonder Woman. So, Dylan, do you got another giant monster that you'd like to bring to everyone's attention?
Well, this is where I wanted to get your definition of monster. Right, because obviously you mean monster in like the example of Predator X, in that it's a weird looking
kind
fucking
of a beast.
Thing. Yeah. But then I'm like, well, you know, if you look at a big talking giant egg, is MODOK a monster? Because look at him, he's as close to an egg as he can get. You know,
he's
AI. Just a weird looking. Does that count? And then I was like, well, what if like the character itself isn't like 70 feet tall and shoots lasers out of its eyes, but is like kind of monstrous in appearance and demeanor.
Okay.
Is that kind?
Sure.
Right.
I'd say so.
Whenever you said this, like this is a character I thought of immediately, and then I thought, no, Corey probably means like Godzilla, but who we can definitely put somewhere. It's a free reign where you want to put Godzilla. He can just kind of come and go as he pleases. He just comes in from one, gives a thumbs up, and then goes away again. I don't know if he has thumbs. I haven't watched the film, but I was thinking of, there's a character we haven't really talked about on the show, I don't think, and I would like to talk about him at some point in more detail when we get a chance.
Okay.
But I was thinking of a Spider-Man villain called Vermin, because I think Vermin, in like, he's quite a horrific kind of character. You know, he's just he does look a little bit like what you would get if you mixed a human and a rat together. He is quite feral. You know, he's got he's very vicious. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't want to meet ever in your life, daytime or nighttime. You don't want to come across Vermin. I feel like he's kind of like a horrific monster-esque character. He's got a limited vocabulary, possibly because he's limited intelligence, and monsters typically have very limited vocabulary. He's not a big hulking kaiju, But I would say he's a scary beast.
Yeah.
Let's say.
I mean, then are we also have to put like Killer Croc and like Man Bat and like Orca and stuff up for debate as well, because they're also like monstrous in that degree.
Well, I agree. Like, wouldn't you look at Killer Croc and go, "That's if you saw that walking out of the sewer, you go, that's a fucking monster right there."
Well,
Wouldn't you?
yeah. I mean, it's weird because as we've talked about Killer Croc before, because you pointed out it's funny that like he went from like guy with a skin condition to like cannibal who looks like a crocodile, complete with tail.
But like when
Mm-hmm.
you look at him, you don't go, "That's a man that's also a crocodile." When you see the lizard, you don't go, "That's a dude that is has a tail." You look at that and go, "That's a freaky lizard monster thing."
I don't know. Is he wearing
You know
his
what I
lab
mean?
coat
Yeah, yeah.
with his purple pants and black shirt like he did in the cartoon?
Well, I think Fang Foom wore pants, so he's on the board.
Yeah,
You know.
he's also like part of a sentient race of dragon people. So
Right, but what if you saw the lizard, you wouldn't know his backstory. You'd be like, "What the fuck is that?
I think
And
that's
why
Kurt
is it wearing a
Connors. I
lab
think I've
coat?"
seen that man before. I think I took him for biology in junior year.
I actually would be scared. I would be more scared
Really
of a
weird. Somebody
lizard creature, a lab coat on. So I'm like,
right.
he's a doctor.
Somebody gave him a medical practice.
That's the smartest of the lizard people. I gotta get out of here, dude. I don't want to get that. I'll fight the dumb one, but I don't want to fight the smart lizard guy. Like,
This one
he's
has
gonna be hard to beat.
$200,000 in debt from medical school.
Yeah, he's pissed.
He's mad
He's
as
not
hell.
happy. He's real fucking pissed. So I would get the hell. I would definitely say that man is a monster. So I'm happy to
Yeah,
put Berman and the lizard on this
Yeah,
list.
yeah. I mean, that's
somewhere.
fine. We could definitely, like I said, when you get into like the people who are like deformed monster people, I think that's fine. It's not exactly like the first thing I was thinking, because of course I was thinking like, oh, it's giant kaiju's and stuff. But yeah, of course they're
Right.
monstrous.
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to give like a mention of Vermin
Okay.
and obviously the lizard as well, because I have another great. I have a great closer that I think will go down very well. That is more akin to what you're talking about, but I really love Vermin as a character, and I feel that as I would imagine, because I'm not super up to date with a lot of like recent Spider-Man stories, but I would imagine with every character that I enjoy, they probably brought him back and fucked him up significantly since the last time I was reading the comics. But it used to be, whenever you read a Berman story, it was really, really good and really impactful because he was one of the few like really low, like street level guys, really like beat the shit out of Spider-Man. It was really unbelievable, like because he was in Kraven's Last Hunt and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
um, real like PTSD about fighting vermin, and I love that you would have somebody that isn't like a and again to go back to all the shit we're talking about with Spider-Man recently, it doesn't have to be a big galactic threat or some sort of interdimensional wizard or whatever. Sometimes it's just a rat boy that just is the scariest thing of all. Again, by that point, Spider-Man had seen all sorts of shit. He had seen the lizard a billion times and all this other stuff, and it says a lot about the human condition, where a character like Vermin can
So
just be like
so
the
what's
scariest
Vermin's
thing.
deal? Is he a dude that got turned into a rat man? Is he a rat that got like evolved into a human? Like what's his deal?
I believe I believe it was a man that got turned into some kind of rat-like uh character, right?
I don't actually know his backstory.
I did, and I've forgotten it, but like, I think that he was a guy, that got turned into some kind of rat monster. We'll go into more research whenever we do the Vermin episode, which should be any day now. That's the Christmas one.
We'll talk about Vermin.
Christmas, here's a fucking rat, dude. You know,
Well, I mean, everybody's favorite character
get
from Muppet
everybody.
Christmas Carol was Rizzo the Rat. So there you
He
go.
was great, but he also didn't try to eat Spider-Man, so
That we know of.
they cut that out of the film because they're like, we didn't have the rights to Spider-Man.
He's
This is
he's stepping on Sir Michael Caine's toes on this one.
I was gonna talk about, well, you know how in the movies one of probably the best like monsters in the history of movies is the Xenomorph
Yes.
from the Alien franchise. It's terrifying. And Marvel basically have their own rip-off version of the Xenomorph in The Brood.
Mm.
So yeah, that was going to be my next choice. Because again, they're like an alien race, not like a monster that's been made or cursed or whatever, but they're still very monstrous, and you know the way they kind of swarm on people and kind of like lay eggs in people and stuff like that, and like
Yeah,
they're
it's gross as shit.
yeah,
Prude.
it is. It's
Gross.
definitely an element of horror there. So
So, if
why
I
not
could ask
Brood?
you, yeah, if I could ask you, what do you think about, what did you think of when they introduced Brew, the intelligent, like, little boy brood creature that was a mutant from his people because it gave him, like, he was, like, psychically connected to them, and he gave him a degree of intelligence. Like, what did you think of Brew?
Wasn't Brew's deal that I thought his deal was that he wasn't part of the hive mind, which is why he was able to kind of, strike out on his own and
I think originally it was,
have
but
his
I
own
think
intelligence.
he ended up taking control of the hive. Like, I think there was an invasion of the
This is
brood.
true, yeah.
Yeah, and he took over the hive. Because there was, like, a recent storyline in, it was probably Jerry Duggan's X-Men, where a lot of people didn't really care for it because basically Corsair was impregnated by the brood. And Cyclops led a team into space to go after the brood. And Cyclops was like, fucking nuclear option. Just wipe them out, man. Tired of fucking dealing with these things. And Jean Grey got really mad at him, saying, like, you sound like you're advocating for, like, genocide against these people because you don't like them. And Cyclops is like, well, yeah, kind of. Because they're kind of a race of monstrous, mass murdering, creatures that only kill.
Yeah,
It's not exactly the same thing, Gene.
exactly.
I think
But I
it's
thought
pretty.
Brew was like a nice, like break from the Brood, uh, like, deal. Like he was his own character, and because he is completely different from the rest of the Brood as well, they kind of set him out and set him apart, and uh, there's lots of stuff you could do with that.
He was one of the focal points of the Wolverine and the X-Men series with by Jason Aaron, right?
Mm.
He was like one of the new
Yeah,
students.
yeah,
He was like him and like Kid Gladiator and stuff.
yeah.
What was his power? What could he do?
I think they
Well, he
classified
didn't
him as
have
a mutant, right?
powers as such. Yeah, I think just because of his intelligence, maybe that set him apart and was like his, what made him a mutant compared to the rest of his people.
So, going back to talking about big old monsters and such, um, I don't know if you want to count them, but every time I think about him, I think it's legitimately fucking frightening. Ego the Living Planet. Like, I know that when, like, he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I think that's gonna forever kind of, like, taint how people view him. But, like, I just remember, like, getting the mental image of, like, reading the comic and, like, putting myself in that perspective of, like, you're in a spaceship, you look out and you see this planet, and then all of a sudden it turns and fucking looks at you. That's fucking frightening. That is just legitimately, like, so surreal it would be terrifying.
Just talking to you. You're like, okay,
Oh, right.
I don't think Planet should be talking to me. I don't think that's
The first time I
correct.
saw Ego the Living Planet, I was it was in like the Marvel Encyclopedia. And I just remember like flipping through the pages and reading all the entries going, this looks fucked. It absolutely does. Jesus Christ.
That's That's the thing that's fucked. Like all the other grim looking weird shit. Fucking all
This
you
was
know.
like the 1980s Marvel Encyclopedia. There wasn't too much. There's a lot of very flamboyant people wearing like Captain Buccaneer boots. You know, like Dominic Fortune and shit. But like Ego the Living Planet, dear God.
He's an odd looking dude. He's probably really lonely. You know? Like what is that good? What does he do for fun?
He just kind of hangs around.
Right. He can't
Trims
go
his
like
mustache.
he can't go kite surfing, you know? He doesn't know what that is.
No.
He's just a big planet out in space. And then he sees people and they try to kill him. And he's like, well, this sucks.
I feel like they were getting to a weird point in comics when they were creating villains, and they were like, who's Thor gonna fight? Ah, fuck it, a planet. A whole ass
A
planet.
yeah. Big planet with a face, you know? Yeah. Well, then in a smaller vein, you could say like Krakoa.
The island, yeah.
It's a monster.
Maybe Krakoa is a
Yeah,
monster.
because it's a fucking sentient fucking island or whatever. You're like, that'd be weird. How does that work? You know?
Mhm.
Eats X-Men or whatever. Like, what does it eat?
I mean, he seemed to eat X-Men.
But he didn't.
Yeah, mutant.
He didn't eat the X-Men. Remember
I
the
think,
whole
well,
point
he was
of
sort
Krakoa.
of
He didn't eat
devouring
the X.
the energy or something, or the powers,
Did he? But he
maybe. I
didn't-
don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna have
Yeah,
to get.
it wasn't
like
like he didn't like form a mouth and start chewing them up or whatever.
which would have been cool. You know,
Yeah.
he will in our X-Men book.
Believed to be the result of nuclear experiments in the Pacific Ocean, it grew up a thing called Krakoa.
Wait, but Krakoa was supposed to be around for like thousands of
Like-
years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I
this
thought
is the
so.
original Krakoa, the living island.
Okay.
It says, origin believed to be the result of nuclear experiments in the Pacific Ocean. They were sent. The X-Men
We
were
don't know what-
sent to investigate a powerful mutant signal on a remote island, which turned out to be Krakoa.
Pretty powerful.
Polaris was able
And
to
then-
demagnetize the planet and send it into space, where it was presumed dead.
I love the idea of where you can just say, I'm just going to demagnetize the planet,
Listen, we didn't
and
know
that's
how
going to send an island.
we didn't know how mad we
you
didn't know
know,
how
like,
science
yeah.
worked.
But we still don't. We still don't. Right? None of us know how science works. It's not even real, Corey. Science isn't real.
Yeah,
Where have you been?
I'm in America.
Science.
Of course, I know
What
that.
science? Vaccines, no good. Get them out of here.
Get them out.
Tylenol, get that shit out. Don't need it.
It's all about cooking your food in beef. That's what's gonna make it better for you.
Tell you what, though, makes it delicious.
We don't have enough
You know what I
red
mean?
meat in our diet. That's the problem.
Broccoli and beef, delicious. You know, get some Bovril, love.
Oh, I've heard lovely things about Bovril.
John, have you ever had Bovril?
I don't think so. No.
Have a spot of Bov in the
I used to
morning.
work with a girl. And she really excitedly came up to us and she's like, "You guys want some beef juice?" And we were like,
I mean, she's not wrong.
"Yes, absolutely. What are you talking about?" She's like, "You got to try this beef juice. It's fucking awesome." And she came back with like things of Bovril. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, give me some beef juice." So I had some. It's not bad.
No.
The problem is you get it in like a big like carton or whatever. You have a couple of drinks, like, yeah, it's not bad. Then you like, I've still got this much Bovril left. Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
You have a couple of drinks, it's fine. A whole fucking thing, you're like, I can't drink this.
Yeah, it's like drinking beef
know?
stock, essentially.
Yeah, my heart can't take this.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's rich.
Yeah, but if you share it around at a party, so if you share some beef juice
just
around,
passes a Bov around at the party.
pass a little bit of beef juice around, you know, a couple of boys having some beef juice, you know,
Some Bob for the
nothing
boys.
weird with that. Not a noise, it's a normal thing that people do, you know. Anyway, what the fuck are we talking
I
about?
don't know how we
Oh,
got-
Krakoa?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, so what Krakoa was doing was it was capturing the mutants and absorbing their energy. He was enjoying some mutant bovril.
Yes, beef cheese.
There you
Okay,
go.
we're on board. We're on board.
Rob, and we're back to where we needed to be.
Yes. Which is...
You got any other monsters you want to talk about, Dylan?
I do. This one's hard to describe. I need to find his proper name, okay? Because I remember his there's two names for him, so I have to look it up. I wrote down one of the names like a fucking idiot and didn't write the other one down. Because I'm that kind of intelligent person, which I'm sure we've been able to figure out by now. So I read this in a Spider-Man comic a long time ago. It's a character called... I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce this name correctly, so I'm just going to spell it.
Okay.
And you guys can look... CHTYLOK. Okay? L-O-K.
Shitlock.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Oh my god.
You see that guy?
I see that guy.
Looks
It
pretty
looks
hot, right?
Like a weird chicken.
Yeah. Well, do you see what his nickname is?
No, let me go to his nickname. The chicken
This
cow?
is what I remember. Chicken Cow.
The chicken cow.
The one thing I remember, it was a storyline in Spider-Man, and I think the Hulk. They went to the Savage Land, and they find Kazar and his girl. What's his girl's name?
Shira?
Shanna. Shanna.
Ghana.
I think. And they are trying to fight Roxxon, who have established a big oil drilling thing in the middle of Savage Land. While all this shit is happening, like a different part of the Antarctica or wherever, the Hulk is just fighting this fucking weird bird thing. So at some point they just beat the shit out of each other so much that they end up rolling over into Spider-Man and Kazar's space. And the people of the Savage Land are like, that's it, that's the chicken cow. And Spider-Man goes, chicken cow? And that's the... So you fucking thing I remember from that whole story. Spider-Man really quietly going, chicken cow? So that's... When I remember that, I was like, that's a big monster. I'm going to write about that. So I had to Google chicken cow to try and find this fucking thing.
I saw that in one of his most recent appearances. He was a background gag where a character was working at a fast food restaurant that he was the mascot on because everything in the restaurant was themed to either be chicken or beef.
Scat it because he's a chicken cow. I didn't know they brought him back. I suspect that was probably the extent of his...
That was the extent that I could see.
Sounds about right. Yeah, he beat up the Hulk and then was a mascot of a fast food joint. It's all you could hope for, really.
Here you go.
Yeah. So he's just a big chicken-looking thing that beat up the Hulk for a bit. But he's weird. He's a big monster, right? You saw him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big weird monster. So I thought I'd bring the chicken cow in. Because also, when the fuck else are we going to be able to talk about the chicken cow?
That's true.
Never. This is it. I imagine this is going to be the extent of the conversation. So, little shout out. You can put him over here.
There we go. I would like to bring up one that's kind of creepy. This is a character that showed up in the Justice League Dark series, the Upside Down Man.
If you want to take a quick gander at the Upside Down Man.
Is he a big fucking egg?
Well, he looks like he could have come from one.
I don't know what that's.
Oh, jeez, that is a bit freaky.
Corey.
Yeah, yep.
Why?
I believe this is James Tynion the Fourth. He's a comic book writer. He is a horror writer. He enjoys writing horror comics. The Upside Down
Yeah.
Man, one of the other kind, all-powerful beings of horror and reflections of all dark and twisted possibilities of magic. Upside Down Man was formed when creation gave birth to magic. The magic in its raw form eventually turned into a bright light that formed Hecate, the first magic being. As she was formed from the light, the Upside Down Man was formed from the darkness in the other place. Frightened by his presence, Hecate created a barrier to hide the Upside Down Man away, not wanting her beautiful realm to be tainted by horror.
So he could basically just do fucking everything because magic. And he was a major villain in the world of Justice League Dark.
You say he can do pretty much everything, but I have a question.
Okay.
Like, he looks like he spends most of his time just hanging upside down. Does this mean he can't go outside because there's nothing for him to hang upside down from?
I mean, he hides away in the dark, so he probably does not go out into the light unless he absolutely has to. He doesn't have eyes either.
Yeah, also, when you say he can do pretty much anything.
I mean, it's magic.
Skateboard?
I don't know. He can play some Tony Hawk's Pro
Have a
Skater.
truck? You know? Kite surf? The second time I've talked to people kite surfing today. I'm not sponsored by kite surfing business or anything like that, but it's just a really fun way to entertain your friends, your family. It's a great time for everybody. Any occasion, really. Kite surfing. Think about it. Big advert for kite surfing in my box now. You know, it takes over the whole screen. Kite surfing. You know, regular surfing. I think if he was outside, he could hang off a tree like a bat, couldn't he?
Probably.
Yeah, but he'd be stuck on that tree, though.
Yeah, how does he move?
Not well.
Not a satisfactory answer. He does move, right?
He does move, yes. But yeah, I mean, he's a being of magical energy. He's massive and able to like warp shit around. But yeah, by the way, I did find a picture of him outside. He's just hovering upside down.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, he can do everything. Get a picture of him skateboarding. Would the skateboard be underneath his head, or would the skateboard be like a, you know, where his, because he's upside down, you know?
Yeah.
I imagine it would be up by his feet, and it would be like when somebody would use a code in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, where they just be like stuck in the air, and they're just doing spins and like doing grabs, different like board flips to like rack up as many points as they can.
Yeah, he seems like the type, doesn't
he? He does. He has moon gravity.
Yeah, he would totally do that. He wouldn't play it properly. The fucking cheat. Say it to his face though. I don't know where his face would be. The top or the bottom? I don't know.
There's another character that looks kind of similar to the degree. There's this period of time where like the scariest thing at DC Comics you could have is a bald head. For some reason, Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV were terrified of pale bald people, which I find offensive to my people. But
pale.
Like there was also Mr. Bloom, who was supposed to be the quote anti-Joker. And also the Ten-Eyed Man, when they redesigned how he looked and did his business, also creepy and whatnot. He was also a user of magic because he pulled a man's, it was either a man or a woman's like mandible out of their face without like breaking the skin. It was just sort of like and now I have your jawbone.
That's a fun trick to do at parties. Even Blaine used to do that. He used to just pull people's jaws out, remember? And people were like, you know.
Yeah, they couldn't make any noise.
They couldn't talk.
Yeah. But yeah, Scott Snyder is he's a tricky guy for me. Like I said, I really like a lot of his ideas. I just don't know if he knows how to finish them. And I think Mr. Bloom is another great example of that. The idea of an anti-Joker is interesting on paper, but I think the execution didn't work.
Isn't the anti-Joker just like a fucking regular dude?
It's basically just like a guy who is like kind of a wild card, but he's not violent and chaotic. Like, he's very orderly. He's like organized and shit. So, yeah. John, it sounds like you've read that particular storyline.
Yes, but I don't really remember a whole lot about Mr. Bloom, to be
There you
honest.
go.
Other than the fact he was sort of creepy looking
Yeah.
and had weirdly proportioned limbs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a flower on his face.
Yep, big flower on the face.
Well,
That was a
that's
lot
'cause
of
of
the
the blue.
characters that those guys were making at the time. Because remember, James Tynion the Fourth like kept cranking out like original characters that were supposed to be iconic, and then he left the Batman line shortly after getting in full control of it. Because he created Miracle Molly, who was supposed to be this like hacker. He created Clown Hunter, which was supposed to be a big character, which is this like teenage kid who the Joker killed his parents, so now he goes out for the sole extent of trying to kill clowns. Ghost
I
Whisperer.
feel like we talked about Clown Hunter.
We have talked about Clown Hunter because it's absurd.
Yeah.
Ghost Whisperer, who was another guy who was training to basically be Batman alongside Bruce Wayne, but he doesn't have the don't kill moral complex. And Punchline, of course, the new Harley Quinn that didn't really replace the old Harley Quinn. So they just introduced all these characters and just didn't fucking really do much of anything of note with them. So,
It's hard writing new characters.
yeah, it's almost like you shouldn't. If you're working in like the big two, I probably wouldn't. I would save that for my own shit. So you're not like an Ed Brubaker who, you know, like, oh, I basically reinvented Bucky Barnes and I don't get a fucking dime from it.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a real shame.
What are you gonna do?
But he hadn't done the most. Well, turn him into a big egg. That's what I would do.
Yeah, giant egg. Just a big old
Yeah,
egg.
but like an egg from like no specific country, just a regular egg, you know,
I would make him from
with a
Scotland.
face.
Scotch egg. You gonna get offended about that? Don't be such a
Not
snowflake,
offended.
white boy.
Don't make me shoot you.
Ah, dear. All right, well,
That how you wanted that to go?
yeah, that's it. That went exactly where it needed to be. Don, do you have any other monsters you want to bring up for discussion?
I mean, I'd say the Wendigo is a pretty good monster. Because
Yeah.
it's not like one specific person, but just like this curse that keeps getting passed around. So I think it's basically if anyone in specifically the
Canada.
Canadian wilderness eats like
Human flesh.
then they're gonna get cursed into being turned into this rampaging beast.
That is actually, I mean, that is a urban legend / cryptozoology like thing though. Like the Wendigo legend is like a thing. So, I mean, it's cool that they took something that, you know, was kind of an established thing and decided to make like real and threatening.
Yeah.
They've been doing some interesting things with it. I mean, we talked about how in the Age of Revelation, the last Wolverine or the Savage Wolverine or whatever they're calling it is Kevin, who is a Wendigo that Wolverine has been like taken under his wing because he like retained his empathy and his intelligence. So there's a heroic Wendigo now in the X-Men world.
Nobody
Yeah.
can be a fucking villain anymore. Everybody's a fucking hero. Ridiculous.
Well, do we have any other monsters that you would like to bring up before we wrap it up?
You could say like the symbiotes are kind of
Yeah.
monsters. You know, they have a monstrous appearance. I was gonna say Carnage, but then I guess you have to say Venom because, like, you know, the big teeth and the
Oh yeah, giant tongue.
claws and stuff.
Eating
Yeah,
brains.
like they have that. Yeah, exactly. Like they started off as this like really monstrous kind of gimmick. I don't want to talk about symbiotes too much because we talked about them a lot last time, and I have a lot to say about them. But yeah, I feel like they would be good monsters, right?
I would agree.
That's it.
There we go. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we can go ahead and call it there. So that was our post-Halloween discussion about monsters. That was completely topical, and on pace for us here at the Smark Avengers. John, have you been watching any monster movies?
No.
It's too scary.
Is the short answer.
what's the
I've got
scariest
lots on my
thing?
watch list.
What's the scariest thing you've watched
But,
recently?
Jeez, I haven't really watched anything horror related.
Mrs.
But I guess
Doubtfire.
District 9 had a bit of body horror in it
That's a good
because
one.
of the main character basically being turned into one of the alien creatures. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, who doesn't love a anecdote about apartheid era South Africa?
Yeah.
Not a single person. Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves. So, John, if they how many movies are you at for the year though currently?
I am currently on 925.
Oh yeah, you're breaking 1,000.
Bad. Easy.
Easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easy.
So, John,
Easy.
where can they go see more about what you have watched and your thoughts on these things?
They can head to Letterboxd, and they can find me at Big John Bowski, all one word.
And Dylan, what do you get up to during the week these days?
Well, when I'm not podcasting, I do a radio show every Monday night on BindsDigitalRadio.co.uk. You can listen in 9 o'clock UK time. I play all sorts of cool music that everybody likes. And a lot of cool music that you don't like because you have never heard it before, but I'll play it and you'll go, wow, that's a good song. That guy knows what he's talking about. I do.
So, I got a weird question to ask you,
And
Dylan, before you get too far. I don't think
yeah,
we've ever asked this before. Does your radio show have a name?
no,
Okay, fair enough.
nobody
That's why
asked me
we've
for
never
one.
asked.
I didn't give one,
There you go.
And like everybody else on on the station has like a name for their show, so they have like little stings and bumpers and stuff to play during the. Nobody asked me for any of this shit. What? Nobody said an advert. Like nobody came up to me and was like, "What the fuck? This is my advert. I advertise it on the streets. I advertise it to people.
There you
I
go.
don't need radio or whatever like that. And sometimes I stream on Twitch at Spookilaroo, of me drawing pictures of SpongeBob or whatever the fuck. And that's it.
There you go. I have another show called Large World Cup, and I have a thing called Henry's Usual. You can find links to everything in the description of both this video, if you're watching on YouTube, or in the description of the podcast, wherever you're listening to the podcast from. That is a reminder that we are on pretty much every form of podcast medium that we can get on, and if there's a new way to get on it, we will find a way to get on it. Additionally, we are on social media. Our posts aren't the most frequent at the moment, but we're getting better at that. Well, until next time, we will see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.